Hello, hello, and welcome back to Brit Reviews It All. Today, I am actually going to be doing my recap on Pretty Little Liars Summer School Season 2, Episode 3. It is called Sweet 16. Now, this again is a Max original, so that is the only way that I was able to be able to watch the season. It is fully 8 episodes, and I am on chapter 13, which is episode 3. All right, so this one again is called Sweet 16. So it basically starts off with Mouse. So she is still going on the Spooky Spaghetti website. She's just kind of taking on this position of I'm going to be the one to kind of monitor everything, see if I see anything weird going on, and especially anything going on with our names, especially because their pictures have already been posted. Now, while she's doing that, she also sees that not only was it their pictures, now their phone numbers are up. So that's like very alarming because the girls were all giving brand new phone numbers. They did not give them out to anyone at all for a while. And then eventually certain situations came up for them to where they had to put something as a contact number. So Mouse, they're doing their little catch up once they get back to school because they are in summer school. She tells them, hey, you guys, I found this on here. And then she also lets them know about receiving an unknown caller on her phone, which shouldn't be happening because nobody really should be having her phone number. Particularly with Mouse, she only actually gave it to her parents, which was understandable because they are out of town on vacation, right? Now, so all the girls are like, we all got a phone call last night, and it was from an unknown caller, but none of them answered it. Okay, now mind you, Mouse didn't answer it, but like right after that, she was on the computer on the Spooky Spaghetti website, and she gets this video chat thing sent directly to her, and it was from this thing, like robot type of thing that looked that had the appearance of Bloody Rose, and it was like almost like a thread, pretty much. So she's just like on edge. Now, let's see. Outside of that conversation, Mouse pretty much lets the girls know, like, hey, I wanted to discuss something else with you guys. My birthday is coming up on Saturday. It's going to be my Sweet 16, and I really want to do something. And then the girls, they all start kind of like being like, oh, well, with everything going on with the Spooky Spaghetti website, Bloody Rose thing, it's probably not the best time to be trying to have a big birthday celebration thing like that going on. Maybe next year we could do like a Sweet 17. We could do your 17th birthday. So she was feeling pretty down about that. And we find out that she's actually having, minus all of that going on with Bloody Rose, all this stuff, Spooky Spaghetti. She's feeling really lonely. She's second guessing her relationship with the girls. Do I really have friends? I'm missing my parents. I'm just, she's just feeling crazy, which is crazy. Mouse has a boyfriend, Ash. Her grandmother is there, who she loves dearly. We'll get to grandma. And then she has her two moms, but they're out of town, on vacation. And then she has her girls. They have formed this whole little group thing going on, and then there's like extended friends through that. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like, oh, it sucks to hear her say she's feeling that way. But hey, you can't take away her feelings. It is what it is. Now, jumping back over to the other ladies, separate Mouse from that conversation. She is, they are actually planning a birthday party for her. They have it all planned out already. Ash is in on it, and she just doesn't know because it's a surprise. It'd be something she's not expecting, right? So, sorry, y'all, I'm fiddling with my hair. So she is, they are actually planning something, okay? Now, just put a pin in that. because I want to go back to the church, which I fully think is a cult. It has the appearance of one, but it hasn't actually been said just yet. But we're gonna keep watching. It was the girl Sandy who was kind of somewhat of a competitor. Kelly kind of looked at her like she was a competitor. Kelly has all of a sudden she's went to go stay with her mom for the summer or whatever, which is, we know that is not true because Sandy has met Bloody Rose, and that is all I'm gonna say. If you meet Bloody Rose and you are caught off guard by her, what do you think happened? Okay, so just saying, we know that is not accurate, and we don't know why the pastor and whatever that lady's name is, who is that? Kelly's mom, we don't know why the both of them have that information. We will have to keep watching to get to that part. Okay, so just throwing it in there. Now, even with all of that just happened, they're popping back over to where Imogen is at the ice cream parlor. You know, she's working. She's seeing, looking at Johnny. I think her her hormones are on high alert right now. But anyway, while she's there, she's working. Johnny is roaming around, talking to the ladies, doing his thing, working. Kelly comes in, and then when she realizes that Imogen is working at the register, she freezes and is like, oh, and almost like she wanted to just say, oh, never mind, I'm gonna leave. But at first she wasn't about to put those flyers down. Now, these flyers are regarding the Redemption House. She's been tasked with passing them out, going around to the local shops and passing them out, so you can get people to come to the Redemption House when it's on the day that they're going to do the thing. I think two things. I think Kelly hadn't seen Imogen since everything went down, so it was just kind of like some weird energy. The second thing, I think because of what Redemption House will be showing and what they will be acting out in Redemption House, and knowing that is related to Imogen, I think that she was like, oh crap, I don't want to have to explain to her everything that's going to be happening at this Redemption House. Let me avoid. That's what I thought. But Imogen, she's excited to see her. Imogen has this crazy look that she does or whatever, where it's like, okay, are you serious right now? Or are you kind of, like, are you serious with this girl when you're saying, oh, hi, I miss you, and then she even invites her to Imogen's birthday party, surprise birthday party, and tells her to bring Greg as well. Okay, so that's that. My notes. Now, let's pop over to Tabby. Tabby and Christian, they're at work, they're bonding, talking about movies. It is so crazy as to how Christian is very, very similar to Chip, which is where Tabby is having that hesitation, because those are the type of things she really enjoyed, talking about movies, stuff with filming, the production, all of that stuff. She is very much into that. And here she is coming across another guy who's cute to her, who she feels attracted to. This is different because she didn't look at Chip like that, but she is very much attracted to Christian. But there's still hesitation because of the similarities. So even with all of that, it was a particular movie, Blackula, that she said she has never seen. He's like, oh my gosh, like, absolutely not. Like, you're going to have to see this movie. It's a requirement. And then he invites her to his home to watch the movie. Nothing's wrong with that, right? It's not a big deal. Y'all are coworkers, getting to know each other. Y'all like a lot of the same things. Nothing's wrong with that. And then he also tells her, yeah, I have a studio. But I mean, I call it a studio, but it's really my basement. So she's just kind of like, ooh, oh my gosh, really? Deciding. But she goes with it, she goes with it. So we're gonna basically, let me go ahead and just say what happened with that. She ends up going over to his home, and as she's getting ready to go downstairs to his studio basement, she's having anxiety, and you can tell. The same setup, almost exactly like Chips, is coming down those stairs. You got the posters, you have all this stuff, and she's like, I'm really freaking out right now, but I'm doing this. Okay, I've got to, really second guessing herself, psyching herself out. But I thought she was going to run away. She did not. She actually went on down there. And then when she saw everything, she saw all of his masks that he made. And then, that sparks a whole conversation, and she's like, okay, she relaxes. He goes up, says he's about to go get the pizza rolls, so they can get the movie started. And then she notices there is a locker. There's a whole thing of lockers. And she's like, oh, crap, okay. Snoop, no snooping. Snoop, no snooping. She does go snoop. And there was a locker that was slightly opened, and she opened it, and there was the Archie Waters mask. And then she opened another one, and there was the mask for Bloody Rose. She completely freaks out on him and literally was like, I'm out of here, back up. He's trying to talk to her. She's like, absolutely not. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. Back up. She hightails it out of there. Okay. So I'm going to come back to that. Now, back over to Imogen. And this something that we see that's kind of coming around with her, between her and Johnny. She, like I said, she's noticing how he is when he's interacting with the girls. She's already kind of peeped him out. He rides in on his bike, all sweaty and stuff, coming to work. She's checking him out. She likes what she sees, obviously. But she also notices how he is technically considered a ladies' man. But it doesn't seem like any of the girls are like against it. But she doesn't know this, right? So she's just like really noticing all of that. And so when he was like talking to this girl, doing his little game, doing whatever, he goes to the back to go, I think, get some other kind of ice cream or something. It was a particular ice cream that the girl wanted. So he goes to the back. She takes this as the moment to step to the girl and say, hey, you might want to be careful with this one. I've seen him, talking to a lot of the girls. And this girl, she like literally snaps at her like, what the F is your problem? Or I think I'm adding curse words, but she done called this girl a B1 too many times. And honey, Imogen probably would have lost my job that day. But anyway, the girl was just like, what the is your problem? What the heck is your problem? B, like calling her that, and basically goes off on the girl. Then when Johnny comes back out, he's like, what's going on? And the girl is like, F you and F this B2, and then dips out. And he's like, what the heck? And Imogen just kind of like, oh, I see what you be doing. Like, you talking to all these girls and whatever. And he's just like, okay, I'm single. I'm hot. I'm not looking for anything serious. Like, the girls, they know what it is. Like, what is your problem? And they just have a little moment. And in the end, he pretty much called her a stuck-up prude, which, Imogen, that is kind of what you were giving. I like you, girl, but you were doing too much, and it wasn't your business. What I think is you liking him, and you see how he is acting with these other girls, but you trying to kind of find your way to kind of be like, back up, because I'm trying to put my claims on this, and I need you to stop looking at these other girls. That's what I think. But okay. Anyway, moving on. Now, back over to where Noah, she works at the pizzeria. Her friend Jen has also somehow ended up working at the same place or applying to the same place. Noah vouched for her. Jen got the job. Okay. Now, the manager, he addresses the both of them, but he's really looking at Jen because obviously that has not been happening until she showed up and started working there. The drawer was $20 short. And Noah, knowing Jen, she already knows what's up. So Noah finds a way while the guy is sitting there looking directly at Jen, and Jen is talking her crap, which she knows she did do it and she knows she's wrong, and you're caught. But she gonna deny. That's what you better do. Um, she Noah, she's over there fiddling with the cash register, like recounting the money, but she kind of put in some money to cover the 20 that was left. And she's like, by my count, it's in here. You can check my math or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna check it again before you two leave for your shift. And Noah is looking at Jen like, girl. She goes off on her, they step out and she's like, dude, what the heck? Like, I vouch for you. Why would you do that? Like, don't mess up what I got going on. I don't want to go back to juvie. And Gina's just looking at her like, oh, she's like, yeah, and by the way, you owe me $20, B. They ain't got no problem with cursing each other out on this particular show. But yeah, so whatever. So that's that. I already spoke about Christian and Tabby and what ended up happening with that scenario. With Henry and Farron. Now, Farron is sitting there talking to Henry, and he's like showing her, what he's been up to in about Redemption House. He obviously has gotten roped into this church. And he's going to be playing some characters in the Redemption House. And Farron is looking at him like, okay. And he's like, oh, it's okay. If it's not your thing, whatever. Farron, watch out, girl. But within that conversation, she actually ends up, just kind of talking to him about how the guys are treating her at work and whatever. And he's just like, yeah, like you're a hard A, and naturally we know that about Farron. She's very serious all the time. She's very, but she's like, look, I know how to have fun too. And he's like, oh, you need to be one of the guys, you need to just relax. I don't think he should have used that. I think more so what you really are trying to say is you can tone it down a little bit. You don't have to be so serious and so tough all the time. It's okay. But she actually ends up I'm jumping ahead. Let me stop right there. Hold on. That's what he told her. Okay. Now, let's go back over to Tabby and Imogen. Y'all gotta follow me because this is a series, and as there's multiple characters, main characters, so that means that they're jumping from here to here to here to here to here. I'll try my best to not be all over the place, but we're gonna go with it. Now, back over to Tabby and Imogen. They are at home. They just having a little girl powwow. Tabby is basically like admitting she freaked out on Christian. She does not think that he has anything to do with Bloody Rose or Archie Waters. But just everything that she was getting, the PTSD kicked in and she freaked out on him and had to dip out. Imogen, she's basically saying, yeah, this guy Johnny at work, he's really hot. But with him being a ladies' man, I kind of did a little bit much. I think with everything that happened to those girls, they have extreme PTSD and they definitely need to continue therapy to help them work through all these things to try to get back to some kind of normalcy. It may not ever be the same, but they can, slowly work into those things. So they did in them, and then even not even just Archie, the thing with Chip is pertaining to Imogen and Tabby. That really did a number on them as well. It's insane. Anyway, now with Mouse, she is still monitoring Spooky Spaghetti. She finds out the posts that she requested to be taken down, they have officially been removed, and she is excited. She goes to update the girls. Mind you, they're still planning her birthday party and discussing the final details and things as she walks in, and she's just kind of like, yeah, you guys, so now, we can have a birthday party, and now they're like looking at each other like, God dang it. And so they have to come up with something and say, hey, yeah, I got to do this. Unfortunately, I got to go over here and do this. Everybody's making up lies and excuses. They feel bad for doing it, but they know that this is a lie that will be for a great reason because she's going to love it, right? Okay. So kind of brings them, kind of kills her spirit a little bit. Mouse, I'm talking about. Now, Imogen and Johnny, they awkwardly see each other at work. I mean, hello, you're the only two clearly working the ice cream parlor, so you're gonna have to interact with each other. But they go ahead and they apologize to each other, and just by the way that he was speaking to Imogen, she kind of caught on to the fact that obviously he must have Googled her, and now he kind of has a little bit of understanding on why her reaction to the way that he's moving around, and why she may look as if she's kind of prudish. Now he gets in and she's like, yeah, you Googled me, didn't you? He's like, yeah. Johnny's so cute. Anyway, moving on. Tabby and Christian, they ended up talking. They're co-workers. They work closely together. I think they are the only two that work at the theater. And then you have the manager. So they're going to have to be around each other. They talked. She went on and, he basically went on and let her know, like, hey, before I even met you, this was something I used to be on Spooky Spaghetti. I was inspired. That is where those masks came from. I felt like it would make you uncomfortable, which is why I put them away. I'm so sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. She's like, I totally get it. And then Tabby goes ahead and lets him know the similarities between him and Chip, about the movie, how that's pretty much seen, that's like autobiography. I forgot what word she used. Almost like an autobiography of what happened to her. And he was like, yeah, I kind of caught on to some pieces of it that felt like that might have been something that was very personal to you. So that was that. He didn't seem freaked out about it. And even at the end of the conversation, she ended up inviting him to Mouse's birthday party. So there's that. Now, back over to Imogen and Johnny's scenario. Imogen's yawning. She's at work. You can clearly see that she's obviously not getting, she said she's not getting any decent sleep because of her dreams. Would you consider them dreams or nightmares? Whatever she wants to categorize them as. So Johnny being nice, he's like, you know what? I have a cot in the office in the back. If you want, go ahead. Try to see if you can get you some rest. So she goes. Now, with Mouse being so persistent about her birthday and celebrating and feeling down and her friends and this and that, she's talking to Ash, and then he's feeling like, God dang it, Mouse. And he goes ahead and he tells her, like, look, okay, we're planning your birthday party. Relax, please. But when the day comes, could you please put on your best surprise face? Just to shut her up, okay? That's pretty much what I think. He did it just to shut her up, and because he was feeling bad, that she was feeling bad. But yeah, I'm like, God dang it, Ash. And God dang it, Mouse. You messed up the surprise. Anyway, Noah, she actually, Noah talked to Jen, about she had to kind of step in with some guys that were from Rosewood that were being rude to Jen, and Jen rushed out of the place, and Noah made sure she got her tip money from them suckers. And she goes out to go talk to Jen, and at the end of the conversation, Noah basically invites Jen to Mouse's birthday party, and Jen gonna look at her and say, is Sean gonna be there? And Noah looks back at her and says, oh, it's not his scene. And I'm just like, first of all, that wouldn't have been my response if I was Noah. My response would have been, what's it to you? That's my boyfriend. It's like a group thing around here. If he wants to show up to the party, he can. It's up to him. I can't say whether he's going to be there or not. I'm inviting you as my friend. Why you worried about if Sean is going to be there or not? We're going to keep Noah, it really irritated me this whole season. But okay, moving on. Now, back over to Imogen at the ice parlor. We see the scene where she's waking up. She goes, sits down. She's talking to Johnny, um, basically saying she did sleep, but she keeps having these dreams about Bloody Rose, her mom, and about the scenario where she was sitting. You know, he was present, and she went out to the dumpster to go take out the trash. Bloody Rose shows up, and it freaked her out. So she's like, you know, I need to face this. And he's like, well, do you want me to come with you? And she's like, no. So she ends up, she's like, I got to do this by myself. So she goes outside. She goes to the dumpster. She looks around, blah, blah, blah. She exhales, turns around, Bloody Rose, hands on the throat. And then she pops up out of her sleep. So that whole scene is actually a dream in itself. And so she actually comes out for real this time. And she just kind of lies and was like, yeah, you know, I got some sleep. It was like, yeah. She's like, basically, she's like, I'm not trying to even go there and talk about whatever just happened just now. We're not doing it. Anyway, Farron, she's at work. She walks out the pool. That's where she works, right? She walks out. She notices that nobody is sitting at the post. And so she's irritated already. She's looking around. All of a sudden, you hear a mom jump up, and she's yelling at her kid, who's yelling out her kid's name, who's drowning. Farron kicks into action, blows the whistle, jumps straight in the water, gets the little girl out, performs mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and is able to save the little girl. So Farron, she is pissed, and she has a group meeting with everybody, and she wants to know who was supposed to be on watch. Same guy who was asleep on duty, who was up there asleep. It was him. She fires his tail immediately. Get your stuff and get out of here. And at that point, she's like, no more playing games. This is serious. I'm not including myself. No more playing, because that is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a serious thing. This ain't just for fun, for play. We are supposed to be present to keep watch, to make sure that these type of things do not happen. We could have lost this little girl because we were not doing what we were supposed to be doing. It's insane. I will say with that scene, I'm like, okay, there were a lot of people around. The other lifeguards, y'all were clearly somewhere within the pool. This is not no huge pool, by the way. I was very confused on this. The mama, you wasn't watching your kid. I'm not saying that it's all on them. You know, the lifeguard is there for a reason. But I'm just like, huh? I ain't gonna say nothing else about that. I'm gonna move on. Moving on. Everybody pretty much is getting invited to this party. So let me just say that. All the girls are inviting everybody that whether they like them, whether they a friend that came back in town, whoever, they have been invited to Mouse's party. So let me just put that out there. Farron, she ends up having a conversation again with Henry, just kind of catching him up on what happened. And she's like, yeah, you know, like, I'm just going to have to own, like, who I am. I'm a strong woman. I'm a strong black woman. You know, I'm just going to have to own it. And she said, and even with that being said, I need to be truthful with you as well. She lets him know about the medical clearance from the doctor, letting him know, I got the clearance. But I have had the clearance weeks before the thing with the dance company going off for the summer or whatever. And I totally understand why Henry was upset about this, because for one, you lied to him. You did not have to. I think even though she's still dealing with some things pertaining to ballet and all of that, and the PTSD that she has from that, from what happened with that, you still chose to lie to him, but you didn't have to. You could have been truthful with him. Look, I'm still dealing with trauma from dancing for ballet. I did get the medical clearance from my doc, but I feel like I need to sit this one out. You go do your thing. but I need to figure out if this is truly something that I want to continue. That's all you had to do. Just saying. Okay, moving on. Now, so he's very upset. He's like, yeah, tell Mouse I said happy birthday because I just need a minute. Pretty much. I need a minute. I need a minute away from all of y'all. I'm mad. Understand? Okay, now the good stuff is gonna start happening. What we're leading up to for this episode. The surprise party commences. So Mouse, her Granny Lola, she comes to her and she's like, yeah, you ready to go to the, the big thing? And Mouse is like, wait, is this the thing? And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to say anything. That's all I can tell you. Just get dressed. Okay. I will say that the way that they set up the party, it was so cute. Outfits, gorgeous, the whole roller rink vibe, back in the day, type of vibe. Very cute. Everybody looked gorgeous. Now, the grandmama, she pulled up to this old rinky-dink looking place. It looks old. It looks deserted. There's no cars out there. No lights are on. Look like ain't nobody touched the place in years. And she's like, yeah, this is the place. And Mouse is already looking at her like, okay, Granny. So she goes, and I'm like, okay, Granny, were you not supposed to go in with her and be like, surprise? Or was this more of like, I'm just dropping you off and then I'm gonna go home type of scenario? Because Mouse goes into the place, and as soon as she goes in the door, she didn't see nothing. And I was just like, you just kept walking in there, Mouse? Because as soon as you went through the first door, and you could see there wasn't nobody up in there, and it didn't look like no decorations, no nothing, baby, you should turn immediately around. But okay. And the grandma was down like, you just left? Like, okay, moving on. Anyway, we come to find out, because she sees like this little setup or whatever, it's a rose, a red rose. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl done been set up by freaking Bloody Rose. She done got dropped off at this weird place, and that is not where she's supposed to be. That is not where she's supposed to be, and how in the heck did the granny get in on this? So she basically gets the notification that this is a test to you for you to escape. And she's like, oh, heck no, absolutely not. She goes to try to turn around and go back out the front door. It is locked. And I'm like, okay, so clearly when you walked in, somebody came behind you and locked you in there because you just came through that door. So that's the jacked up part. So she starts freaking out, understandably, going around everywhere to every door she can find to try to escape. Everything is sealed shut, all exits sealed. Now while she's doing that, she sees Bloody Rose before Bloody Rose sees her. And she is like, oh my gosh. So first thing, find somewhere to hide. She finds somewhere to hide, closes herself in. She tries to send a text out. Her phone signal ain't even working. That's another thing. Now, back over at the party, everybody's at the party. Everybody's skating, laughing, flirting, having a good old time. And now, mind you, Kelly pinpointed something, and I didn't even notice it then. And then Greg said it too, and they were like, Kelly was like, yeah, where did she know? They was like, yeah, they're friends, and they, crazy enough, they met in juvie or whatever, and they like, and Greg was like, yeah, it looked like they had some kind of jail relationship going on or something. I'm saying it in a nice way. He didn't say it rude, but I don't want to be striped. And Kelly was like, yeah, they're looking like really friendly. She said it like that. Because mind you, they're skating around the rink holding hands and stuff. Like, we friends. I'm not going to be going around the roller rink holding your hand like that. We're not doing that. That was like some relationship type of stuff that I saw. I did not see it the first time that I watched it. But I saw it this time. And I'm like, they caught it. So that was that. And I thought that was very disrespectful because a lot of the people in there, they know Greg. I mean, they know Sean. And so if you was going around the roller rink all looking like you booed up or whatever, that was very disrespectful, Noah. You trash for that. Anyway, now, Ash, he shows up to Mouse's place and tells the granny, like, hey, I'm here to pick up the birthday girl, for the big surprise, whatever. And the granny is like, I already dropped her off at the at the surprise, and he's like, "Excuse me, what?" Everybody's freaking out. As she calls the girls, thank God he did. She tells him where they said that she was dropped off at, and thank God that Noah, she recognized the name of the place and was able to say, hey, yeah, you know, my mom, she used to take me to that place years ago. It's off of Route something something something. And so they like, get there now. All of them leave and they text Ash, meet us here. By the time they get there, the whole place is up in flames. Mind you, Mouse, she was waiting for help, like waiting it out. She starts coughing and she sees smoke, and then she comes out and she realizes that the place is up in flames. So she has to find a way to escape out of there immediately. So she sees a vent, and so this girl is like, F it, I'm gonna try. Let's see what we can make happen. She is crawling through the vents, trying to find her way out of this building. But like I said, as they show up, the place is up in flames. They're like, oh my gosh, it's Mouse in there. You know, they don't know what's going on. Here she comes from way around the way, and coughing, soot all over her. And thank goodness she's not deceased. Okay. But you know, they basically was like, you know, Ash ran over to get her, like, what the heck? And she's like, it was Bloody Rose. You know, she was like, it's happening again. And that was the end of the episode. I was just like, holy crap, because obviously they got tired of looking for you, and they was like, I know what to do with her. Let's lock up the place, set it ablaze, and there we go. Let's see if she escapes that. And she did. Boom. But yes, I am in love with the series. This is my type of stuff. I love mystery. I love this type of stuff like this. I really enjoy watching, trying to figure out who is the killer. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that was the episode 3, Sweet 16. Let's just say that Mouse had a very interesting Sweet 16. Yeah, while everybody else was at the roller rink getting drunk and having a good old time without your girl. Yeah. But yeah, so now the bigger question is who told that grandmama where to take you? That's the bigger question. But yeah, so thank y'all for watching. That was Pretty Little Liars, The Original Sin, Summer School, Season 2, Episode 3. Get Max so you can watch it, because it really is really good if you're into that kind of stuff. And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I will continue to come back with more, and I have some more things up my sleeve. I don't have no sleeves on today, but I got some more things coming as we are going through the rest of this year. Bye, y'all. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.